For so many years, the lifts have been so far behind what the mountain is. The mountain is a world-class destination, and the lifts have been for a second-tier resort, and we're bringing the lifts up to standard, and it's going to be awesome. The replacement of Swift Current has been by far the most requested project of 2025. And now that we're finally doing it, it's so gratifying to see it finally happening.
The Swift Current lift is brand new technology. It's the most technologically advanced ski lift that's ever been built, not only in Big Sky, but in the world.
This is just an absolute huge upgrade for the mountain.
It is going to increase the uphill capacity out of the base area by 50%. The guests are going to notice a faster ride to the top and be warmer and comfortable on the way there.
The level of planning that it takes to go into this is immense. It's been a 2-year project, and it's consumed all of those 2 years.
It takes hundreds of people and lots of different specialists to complete a project of this size and scope.
Obviously, Swift Current is the main artery for the mountain. And replacing it has been akin to doing heart surgery on the resort. You need absolute precision with everything, and the second the old lift is out, the clock's ticking.
A lot of things are going to have to happen in the next 200 days. I mean, it's a lot to talk about. How do you boil it down to a few sentences here? There's some survey work that's been done, and then the lift gets designed on the topo that survey provides. Bring an excavator in who opens up the holes. It's all based on a center line of the lift, so this thing has to be perfectly straight. The terminal has to be completely perfect, dialed in, level. The lift line has 500 yards of concrete. So we're dealing with the tolerance within a couple 1/100ths of a foot.
Oh, helicopter day was awesome. Being such a lift nerd, I've never seen a lift install a helicopter before.
He's incredible. Brian Jorgensen, I mean, the guy is a top-notch pilot.
Oh, it's totally stressful. It takes a lot of planning. Like, we want it to be set up perfectly before he even gets here so that once that helicopter gets in the air, it just flows. Each piece of each tower is going to be about 6,000 pounds. So a fully built tower could be around 30,000 pounds. So that's going to be like 4 or 5 or 6 trips to each tower to get it fully assembled.
It's so weird because there's these giant pieces that this helicopter, they're dropping in place, and they have to have inches precision.
He gets things done and moves at a pace, and a safe pace, that's just unbelievable.
The cable that's going on weighs 127,000 pounds. It'll be the heaviest rope that I've had to work with.
If I just worked out a little bit more over the winter, I probably could have just carried it over there, but...
We had, if not the biggest, one of the biggest cranes in Montana on site. And that whole process from when the rope showed up to when it got into position, it took 3 hours just to move that rope.
And I think it's around just over 16,000 feet of cable.
The expertise of installing and placing and getting this very sophisticated equipment to work, a lot of those technicians are coming from Europe and other places in the US that are very specifically trained technicians.
Yeah, the whole lift is specialized parts coming out of Austria, so if you're missing a bolt or something like that, it's not a Home Depot run. The direct drive for Swift Current is 43,000 pounds. It's a big, heavy electric motor, and it allows the lift to not need a gearbox. So there's one component that is less prone to failure just by the fact that there is no gearbox on these things. So the cable has to be spliced at the right tension and the right length. I think we're looking at around 100,000 pounds of tension on the bull wheel down here. And the first splice that we do to this cable is not a huge window of room there to have it too long or too short. Even with the help of the engineers and everybody else, there's still a few unknowns there. So it's kind of a nerve-wracking final touch to the lift is getting that cable put on there with the right tension.
After 2 years of having this thing be a paper lift, seeing it finally operating is just the coolest thing.
We're the biggest skiing in North America, but it makes it feel even bigger with these big machines. We're truly becoming a world-class destination.
It's going to be an amazing experience for our guests to have that choice and the comfort going two directions on one of the biggest ski areas in America.
Having 2 D lines back to back out of the base areas, they're going to have some bragging rights after this one because they're way ahead of the rest of the resorts.